Ariute! Good afternoon mga kapudyak. So, ito yung first attempt ko na gumawa ng movie review. Ang reason kung bakit gumagawa ako ng movie review is just to add content sa mga videos natin. Paano kasi? Dahil nag-start ako ng bagong work, napaparami yung mga overtime na binibigay ng boss ko. Kaya ano na lang, nababawasan yung time ko gumawa ng Padyak foodie, yung mga travel vlogs natin. So, naisip ko, why not make a movie critic? Something na I'm really passionate about. You know, yung kung hindi nyo nalalaman, I am sort of a film connoisseur and I'm also a film student. Sort of. Not professionally, not officially, but I do love learning about the process of making films, writing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, one thing na naisip ko is why not make a critic about Filipino films? Dahil marami naman sa ating mga Filipino at kababayan na, alam natin na ano ang quality ng Filipino movies. And pinagtatawa na natin, sabihin na lang natin yung iba. At least ako, aaminin ko na minsan kadalasan, pinagtatawanan ko yung Filipino films. Now, since that I've lived here in LA, Hollywood, may mga nakilala akong tao na who are in the film industry and natututo ako ng mga ilang little tidbits here and there sa mga sa mga industry jargon, blah blah blah. And I've learned a few things and I want to share a few things that I've learned na makakatulong hopefully sa pag-understanding natin kung bakit ang pangit ng Filipino films. And here's the thing, hindi ko, I do take pleasure na pagtawalan yung Filipino films, okay? But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is hopefully makarating ito sa mga aspiring filmmakers, aspiring writers, and makita nila yung mga points and steps on how to make a better film. That said, simulan na natin. Ang first film na ikikritik natin would be si One Great Love. Bakit siya ang napili ko? Well, it was just random. I was browsing sa Amazon Prime and it's like, okay, this is the best place to start anywhere. Let's just do it. Okay, pinanood ko. One thing na napanood ko na unang overwhelming is that it was excruciatingly long. Okay? This film has the same style as yung back in the days, like 1920s, 30s film. Think si Gone with the Wind na yung literally back in the days sa Hollywood or sa US, nahahati yung film exactly sa gitna, nagkakaroon ng intermission where yung mga viewers or audience lumalabas, punta sila sa lobby, and then they're having a smoke or nagpupunta sila sa restroom or whatnot. That's literally what it is. And then babalik sila sa sinihan, okay, after ng intermission, and then panonoorin nila. That's what this film is. And as you know, US films or Western films have already moved away from that style. Now, it's like if it's one and a half hours na tuloy-tuloy. And nagda-develop na yung style ng Western films where like dude, we gotta make sure na action-packed or maraming mga nangyayari to move the story forward within that 1.5 hour. Bakit ang tagal ng story? It's because ang bagal. It feels like it's molasses. It's like spinning the wheel in mud na ang tagal bago umabante yung story. It's like, dude, get on with it. Get on with it. And that's one of the things na gusto kong i-brought up is why ang bagal ng films. It feels like mabagal ang films ng Filipino is because um, paulit-ulit yung scene. Let's take for example, if you've seen this film, yung scene na gustong ipakilala si Zaira ng mga friends niya sa bagong guy. Yung nasa ano sila, nasa um, club sila. Club or bar, whatever. Okay, 'di ba i-introduce nila parang blind date si Zaira. Okay, that's the first scene. Umalis si Zaira, nagalit siya. Saan siya nagpunta? Nagpunta siya sa sinihan. Nanood siya ng sine. Tapos ando doon yung nasa loob siya ng sinihan, nakita niya naghahalikan sa loob ng sinihan, yung dalawang magnobyo, tapos tumawag yung kapatid niya. Tapos nag-away sila or medyo nagkasagutan sila ng kapatid niya habang nasa loob siya ng sinihan, and then pinakita yung nasa kotse siya. Right? Hindi mag-start yung kotse niya, and then nagpunta siya sa coffee shop, and then nandoon pala si Mr. Pogi number one. Analysis, right? Dumating siya sa coffee shop ng galit. Guess what? Nung umalis siya sa club, galit siya. Why don't you just do it right then and there? Bakit mo pa pinaliwanag na nagpunta siya sa sinihan? Bakit mo pa pinaliwanag na nasira yung kotse niya? Dude, it does the same effect. Galit siya, and she needed to cool down. Yeah, that's like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. If you eliminated those 5 minutes, that's exactly 10 minutes. You could have saved 10 minutes of the viewer's time. Okay? And it also could have saved you some budget money. Just think about it. Like, hindi mo na kailangan ng mga extra para sa sinihan scene. Okay? You don't need that. Eliminate mo na kagad yun. Okay? Or yung nasira yung kotse niya. Dude, you could have eliminated because to be honest, parehas pa rin naman siyang galit eh. And you could have gotten that message across. So, oh wow, look, 10 minutes. Right? Meron pang mga ibang scenes that I feel like they could have cut because it could have gotten the message across. Or instead of like 4 scenes na if it's good writing, makikita ng writer yun na it's like, no, dude, we could have gotten the message to Zaira with one scene, okay? Just i-edit na lang natin yung ano, basta i-add na lang natin yung mga characters doon para mabigay nila yung message nila na magiging based ng decision ni Ira to move forward, ni Zaira to move forward. That right there is what's lacking, I think, dito sa movie na ito. Another thing na nabanggit na napansin ko would be yung mga characters. Listen, this film is a love triangle trope, right? And we all know what a love triangle is. Famous love triangle. Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane. Okay. Sino nga ba yun? I guess Star Wars is a love triangle nung bago malaman ni Luke Skywalker na kapatid niya pala si Princess, what's her name? Leia, right? There would be si Titanic. There would be si Spider-Man, si Spider-Man, si Mary Jane, and si Peter Parker, or si Peter Parker, si Mary Jane, at saka si Harry, right? My favorite of all time would be si Reality Bites. Okay? So that's a trope ng love triangle. Now, the formula, come here. The formula for love triangle would be si Miss Beautiful has 2 suitors. Great. But 2 suitors must be totally opposite of each other. Which tong film na to, si One Great Love, didn't provide. Okay? So Mr. Pogi 1 and Mr. Pogi 2 are pretty much the same. Okay? They're both educated. They're both on the top of their fields. Pares na Pogi. That's like, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. And I hope I'm not going really fast here. A love triangle, okay, is just a ang basis ng love triangle is just parang tinake to the next level yung tinatawag na buddy love story. Now, a buddy love story is simply this. The protagonist is empty and wants something that he or she doesn't know, and the new guy or the new gal that he or she will meet will be the one to provide to fill that emptiness. Okay, one of the good films ng buddy love story would be si Turner and Hooch with the young Tom Hanks. Tapos may kasama siyang aso. And that's a buddy love. Lethal Weapon. That's a buddy love story where sino nga ba yun yung itim na actor? Okay, malungkot siya that he just lost a partner, and then this new guy which is totally opposite of him will be teaming up with him. Okay, and Danny Glover, and Mel Gibson would be meeting up, and that's what a classic um, buddy love is. Now, somebody along the way would say, "Hey, why not put another person in there just to complicate things?" So that's what a love triangle is. But the basis is that protagonist is empty and she thinks that this guy would be the one to fill her, but she doesn't realize that it's actually guy number two would be the best fit for her. And then at the end of the film, she will realize that this is the right choice. One thing I also realized or napansin ko, notice sa film na to, si Zaira, which is yung protagonist natin, is very undecisive. You know, it's like, hey, we as audiences want to have a protagonist that we want to root for, not necessarily relate to, but somebody we can root for. That's like, I want you to win. I want you to have the best for yourself, you know? And that's the whole idea of making movies. It's like we want, you know, the guy who is being bullied get the best from in life and get even with the bad guys. You know, that's what we wanna see. That's why we're watching movies. Oh, and another thing, let me just say this. A lot of Filipinos are saying na ang pangit ng mga Filipino films is because it's not realistic. Guess what? They're not supposed to. Okay? Sa film writing, there is such a thing sa Act 1, you know, classic films or classic stories, nanonood kayo ng stage film or stage show, okay? Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Sa Act 1, okay, there is such a thing called the setup. And this is the first 10 to 20 minutes na sineset up ng director or ng storyteller or ng writer, okay, yung world na iniikutan ng protagonist. Sci-fi. Setup. Again, we're talking about setup here. Sci-fi. Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore strange new world, seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Right? Alam mo na, okay, this is going to be a space epic film. Okay? That's what the setup is. It's very crucial. And there are other films na it sets you up na, okay, this is a quirky movie or this is an action-packed movie. Alam ko hindi naman totoo to, pero bumibenta. Why? Because it's kind of like what the director is saying. Please come in. This is the world that we're setting up. And I know ang pangit ng ano ko, okay, nung kwarto ko. Just bear with me. And like what I said earlier, you know, both guys are the same. Both love interest ni Zaira are the same. Um, a good example of Filipino films who did this well marketing-wise would be si Robin Padilla and Richard Gomez. I mean, seriously. And they're vying for the heart ni Sharon Cuneta, I believe. So, yeah, we do have a good example. It's like, I don't know why nobody noticed or nobody just say, hey, it worked for those three. Let's do the same thing for our film. Okay? And maybe they didn't realize kung ano yung what's the formula, but yeah, Richard Gomez and Robin Padilla are two different people. Now let's get to the point where let's improve the film a little bit. Yung scenes na I think would help improve cinematography wise. I don't know if that's the term, but yeah, let's just do that. One thing na I remember dun sa film is yung part na nagkabalikan si Zaira at saka si Mr. Pogi number one. Yung pinuntahan ni Zaira si Mr. Pogi dun sa boat niya, right? And then of course she spends the night and they have like okay. Um it doesn't work yung soft sex scene. Just think about it. Zaira is totally in love this guy with this guy. She is head over heels for Mr. Pogi number one. Right? So by the way, I don't even remember the names. It's not important. It's like to be it's like I don't wanna know your names. Okay. Anyway, napunta siya sa Mr. Pogi and they have sex, right? One thing that I wish the director did was alam niyo yung scene sa film yung sa sobrang intense nung sex nila, sumasandal sila sa pader ng malakas, right? Yung isasandal ni boy siguro sa pader and then nabilis sila naguhubad talaga. Yung parang nanggigigil sila na hubaran kagad. Nagmamadali sila. That's the word. Nagmamadali sila hubaran ang isa't isa. Hey, let's take it to the next level. Let's make it better. Ibaliktad mo. Si Zaira, yung nagpipin kay Mr. Pogi sa pader. And she's just like, hinuhubaran niya na parang animal. It's like, that visually tells the audience how intense her passion, not really lust, but her passion for Mr. Pogi number one. It makes her a stronger character. Hindi yung down na, ewan ko, saan ba tayo pupunta? Saan mo ako dadalhin? No, she has to be decisive. You know, it's like, I want this guy. Right? Another thing that I wish they did was si Mr. Pogi number 2 was totally different. And then, nung first time sila nag-sex, Zaira would realize, like, God dang, this guy is way better in sex. You know yung scenes na pagkatapos mag-sex, yung nasa taas ng kama yung camera tapos nakahiga ganun yung tapos meron siyang kumot or what not yung ganito. Wala akong kumot nakaganon yung kumot ng babae. Right? That would have been a good scene para pakita mo na like, yeah, you think you were being satisfied by Mr. Pogi number 1. No. Si Mr. Pogi number 2 is the one who's really satisfying you. What would even taken that scene a little bit better or take it to the next level is kung sasabihin niya na, para akong napunit. Right? Now you have an idea. Just those words give you an idea, gives you a picture kung, God dang, girl, napunit ka, dang. Right? So now where we have a comparison between Mr. Pogi number 1 who thinks he's a stud and then maybe mahirap si Pogi number 2, maybe he's provinciano, but God dang, okay, he's really right. Si Mr. Pogi number 1 is Mr. Pogi number 2, yeah, right. So gives you something, okay. So mayaman na feeling niya magaling siya, or si mahirap na nagtatrabaho maigi and he will eventually get to where he wants to go. Hindi katulad ng, si mami lang ang nagbibigay ng pera sa kanya. Like, big difference. Big difference in writing. So, I wish that that's what they did. Okay, dito na muna magtatapos dahil tumataas ang presyon ko. Okay? Dahil very, very, very passionate ako sa film eh. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Huwag nyo na rin kalimutang mag-report ng video na to. Hopefully nagustuhan ninyo, and thank you so much.